life can hit like a sledgehammer. But guess what? We hit back harder. Welcome to Affirm That Sh. Somehow I Thrived. I'm Jennifer Rogers, your no BS guide to turning life's toughest moments into badass victories. Ready to flip the script? Let's affirm that life can be a bitch, but somehow we thrive. Welcome to today's episode of Affirm That Sh. Somehow I Thrived. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like to keep up with our latest guests and content. Today, we're going to meet Tanesha Moody, whose journey turns rejection into radical self-growth. She's here to share how failure rewrote her story with resilience, authenticity, and clarity, and why showing up fully is the most powerful leadership move there is. But before we meet Tanesha, let's hear her affirmations. I invite you now, in your space and place, to just relax into your body, take a deep breath, and say these along with us. Rejection is direction, and I walk boldly toward the space I truly belong. Rejection is direction, and I walk boldly towards the space I belong. Rejection is direction, and I walk boldly towards the space I belong. I am a catalyst for clear change, and my leadership empowers others to own their voices. I am a catalyst for clear change, and my leadership empowers others to own their voices. I am a catalyst for clear change, and my leadership empowers others to own their voices. I live full out, not to impress, but to express who I truly am. I live full out, not to impress, but to express who I truly am. I live full out, not to impress, but to express who I truly am. Stay with us. After this break, we'll meet Tanesha.
Imagine a space where you let go, where the clamor of the world quiets and you meet your truest self. At Yu-Gi-Oh!, through sound vibrations, Reiki, and the wisdom of tarot, we help you release what no longer serves you, align with your energy, and renew your spirit. Begin your journey back to yourself today.
Welcome, Tanesha, to today's episode. How are you?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for having me. Mondays are some of my favorite days, so I'm doing really awesome.
I love it. We always hear that thing that's we got the Monday blues or here comes Monday again. But I love a Monday just as good as a Friday, especially when we wake up and we get to have guests such as yourself. So I am so excited to hear more about you and how you rewrote your story. Where are we going in your story today?
I feel like we need to start at near the beginning in terms of how I've gotten here. And thank you so much for allowing me to share this story with others. It means so much. And I feel like the journey's just beginning for myself too. But I've had a really unique career path. I've had the chance to work in a lot of different industries as a professional theater, stage manager, most recently on the Broadway first national tour of Mean Girls, the musical, and then transition into corporate events via Disney Marriott, Under Armour, Salesforce, leading teams, developing people. And I recognized throughout that journey that some of my favorite parts about all of my roles were helping people get to where they wanted to be, fulfilling them, helping them uncover their goals and what it looks like to live full out. And it was a layoff that allowed me to see that this is actually what I want to do full time. And amidst that layoff of being rejected from a role that I thought was the one, it really kind of helped to shape and lay the foundation of what was really rejected. Was it me or was it my offer? And how does that align with my assignments, my purpose for life, and helping others get to where they meant to be?
When we did our affirmations, we spoke beforehand, and to make sure that those aligned with you. And I love that you gave me direction because we had said redirection at first, and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
no, direction is great. It is. And for you to take a rejection in that role and to hold it in a positive light and to put it into something that you can use to press forward on. What did you have to, because you said you had to turn it inward. What did you turn inward and what did you look at yourself specifically? Because I think so many times people can go into, well, I should have done this. I should have done this. But what was it that you took a closer look at and said, no, that rejection is my new direction?
Yeah, there were so many different moments throughout this course that really kind of allowed me to see that. And there's a quote that I actually always go to from Oprah. And she said something along the lines of like, there are no mistakes. Really, there are none. And seeing the rejections, the failures, is how I usually saw them as mistakes. So when I was able to kind of receive a lot of rejections, in terms of like looking for new roles, rejections from friendships, and like not having answered texting or swiping left on people, like rejections everywhere, especially when you're putting an offer out. And it took honestly receiving so many of them, putting myself out there to really kind of self search and understand that, hey, this isn't just me. This isn't me being rejected, like what really is happening here. And I too received coaching. I spent a lot of time with God. I did a lot of journaling, and it became very clear to me that when I was applying to a job, I was putting the offer to work for a company. Like that was the offer. When I was trying to hang out with a friend, it was an offer for companionship that was rejected. It wasn't myself that was rejected. And I really feel like the compound of having that happen over and over again really allowed me to kind of take kind of the veil away from my eyes and realize that, hey, this is what's really going on. And I'm very grateful for that reframe, but it took a lot of time. It took a lot of rejections, and it took a lot of being willing to actually see it from a different perspective.
No, I love that. And it sounds like it actually reshaped your own path because not only were you, as you're saying, this is an offer, this is an offer of time, this is, it could be contractual basis. But on the other side of that, you're worth that offer. And so I think there was probably some self worth and self realization that probably come up for you during that time that maybe you didn't give yourself all the credit when you were asking for things. Would you say that when you rewrote your path and you started to get clear, you added more value to yourself on that side of the relationship than you did with the others moving forward?
I would say definitely. There was so much growth that happened in so many different fashions. I would say it was also about giving myself permission to put myself out there. I've realized if I didn't put myself out there, if I didn't put offers on the line, if I didn't put myself out there to potentially be rejected, I was shrinking.
Mm.
That meant I wasn't living full out, and I wasn't allowing myself to receive feedback, to receive opportunities, to walk through doors if I continue to stay in this place of like, oh, I'm not going to try this time. And I recognize there's a ripple effect to this too. Because if I don't put myself out there, if I don't write this, if I don't speak on this, if I don't take advantage of these opportunities, there's a possibility that somebody else might not either, that they might not hear what I need to say so that they can have permission to go do what they need to do. And I know now that all of these things are connected, not just for myself. I know I had to go through these things for myself, but I also feel like I needed to go through them to potentially help somebody else too. And I think that's all about full out living and about the clear method that I've had a chance to create. The R and the acronym for clear is to ripple your impact. So these things are happening so that you can ripple and help somebody else further down the road that you might not even encounter or know. But them just hearing your story, hearing you navigate rejection, hearing you get clear, hearing you live full out might inspire them to do the same thing.
I'd like to ask you, Tanesha, now when you are owning your full self, you're living full out. What does that look like today when you're standing in those rooms or you're sending that contract and it doesn't feel like maybe it's built for you?
What it looks like for me now, and I feel like I need to kind of explain the acronym to really kind of put it into perspective, but the C is really about clarifying your purpose. L is living your values. E is embodying your identity. A is aligning with courage. So that's when we're navigating the fear, the rejection, and still doing things anyway. And then the R, as I mentioned, is rippling your impact. And for me, if I'm doing all of those things on a daily basis, that means I'm living full out. It means I'm showing up in alignment with my purpose. And I am a Christian, so I definitely feel like that's in alignment with my assignments from God. And I'm making decisions and deciding to take these opportunities because it's in alignment with my values. And I'm showing up fully as who I am intrinsically with when anyone is around or not available, I'm my authentic self, no matter what type of environment I happen to be with. And if I'm doing those things on a constant basis every single day, that means I'm living full out. I also know that there's another aspect of it that I have a chance to work through with my clients a lot is about this whole multi-passionate living. And I definitely feel like I'm a multi-passionate person, as you can hear from my background with the theater and the events. And I did dancing professionally too. I still dance. And I feel like if your life involves all those things that you're passionate about, those things that you're good at, and you're utilizing your gifts to a capacity that helps other people, I feel like that's living full out. And I'm so grateful I get to do that every day.
So, as a coach, because you've clearly identified what fills your cup, what brings you that happiness, when you are in your coaching hat and you've got clients who are coming in who are not clear about their paths, they're not clear what their gifts are, how do you walk them through that to identify?
Yes, that's such a wonderful question. And I feel like those are what my clients are usually coming for because they're not certain at this time where they are and who they want to be. And usually I start with the L of the clear method. In that first discovery call, we're spending time uncovering what their values actually are. And I believe our values change throughout our lives. Things change, things become important, and then they're not so much. So we spend a great amount of time on that first session really understanding and uncovering what's important to them. What guardrails are they utilizing to make decisions in their personal lives, in their work lives? What does that look like for them? And I know for myself, like freedom's very important for me, joy and creativity, making a difference. So I utilize those guardrails really for any type of decision I'm making, even if it's on the to-do list or not. That's a clear, like a clear knowing if like I should be doing that or not, because it says like, all right, this is in alignment with that guardrail, not, or maybe not. So I can go and delegate that. So that's typically where we start, is with our values. And then from there, we start to uncover, okay, what are you actually good at? What do you like to do? What lights you up? And figuring out those gifts of what you're naturally good at can kind of point clearly to what your actual purpose might be and your assignments are. I believe, especially as a Christian, like I have the one purpose is like to bring honor to God and to glorify Him. and to serve people in the process. So there's a lot of different ways to do that though. So I feel like we have multiple assignments in this space, and figuring out your gifts, your values can really kind of uncover what you're meant to be doing on a daily basis throughout your life to make an impact and serve other people.
No, I love that. And thank you for using the example of joy as a value. So many people, I think, try to put tangible things on, or, oh, I need to be a good financial steward. I need to have integrity. I need it. But it's important that we look at those aspects of our values that means something to us as well, not just those that we serve. And so I love that you wrapped joy in that as an example today. And I can just hear it in your voice as you speak, and your smile is just so radiant that I have a feeling that you are walking hand in hand with your clients. And like you said, in your true authentic self, this is not who you are from time to time. This is who you wake up and who you lay down at night. And that is a beautiful sight, Tanesha. Thank you.
Thank you. That means so much.
I would like to invite you now, because there's going to be some out there that have struggled with identifying who they are. They are still trying to define, because growing up, at least as little girls, we always hear you can be anything you want to be, do anything you want. But then when it gets time to define that, who am I? What do I want to do? I go to college, but I'm not sure what my career path should be, or I apply for a job, but I only applied because I needed this job, right? So as you're working through and you're helping people identify and their clear goals and find that clarity in their life's purpose, there's going to be some that listen to your voice today, that saw you, that really connect with you. Will you share with us how they can work with you, how they can reach you?
Yes, definitely. You're welcome to connect with me on Instagram, Tanesha, Tanesha Moody on Instagram, or at Full Out Coaching on Instagram as well. I can also be found online on my website, www.taneshalmoody.com. We also do Full Out Fridays, which is our newsletter that comes out bi-weekly on Friday, where we give tips and tricks about how to navigate rejection and fear and things that are coming up for me from sessions or my speaking engagements or leading training facilitation, because there's always something new that's coming up in there. And there was also something, Jennifer, if you don't mind if I go on a little side tangent here, because you shared something about like when we're younger, and we think we can do everything that we want to do, and then we navigate life, and then it kind of changes. And I keep this picture of my dad and I on my desk here, and it's Tanesha super young with my dad. I'm probably only like 3 in this photo, and I really feel like my younger self had it right. And that's something that we have a chance to explore as we're trying to figure out, like, what are my assignments? Like, who am I really? And my younger self loved to create dresses made out of paper and turn them into something cool. And I was writing stories when I was bored in 5th grade. And I was always like building community and connecting people. And that's something that I have a chance to do now. I recently finished writing a book about navigating rejection, and I'm still creating things from scratch right now. I'm working on a retreat for other coaches, and I'm also helping people and building community with people. So that's just something I would encourage others. Like if we're not really certain just really where we're supposed to be going, look at our younger selves. They had a lot of insights. They knew a lot of things. And I think there's a lot of beautiful pieces that we can pull from that if we do a little bit of searching on all of those pieces too. And that's something I also mention in my newsletter as well, to bring it back to this.
No, that is beautiful. Do you mind to share that picture of you and your dad
Yeah,
again? And
sure.
what is dad's name?
His name is Daryl. Daryl.
Oh,
Yeah.
Daryl. That is so beautiful, Tanesha. Thank you for sharing that and bringing that back, because it is, we do need to go back and give ourselves that permission. We lived limitless in those days, didn't we? We did.
Definitely.
You are and if I must just say, Tanesha, a beautiful ray of sunshine. You just light up, and I appreciate your energy, your spirit, and the work that you're doing. And girl, just keep shining.
Thank you, Jennifer. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. And to our viewers and listeners, thank you for joining us today. You just took another step towards owning your story and thriving against all odds. This is Affirm That Shit. Somehow I thrived. If you're ready to keep kicking ass, subscribe now and let's keep breaking barriers together. Remember, life's a battle, but somehow you'll thrive.